Circle jerk America. We're still waiting for Gavin. What's up, Griffin? How are you?
Are we live?
Yeah, we're live.
Oh, no, you're coming through my. I got to turn YouTube off. Yep, we're streaming. We're live.
Uh-oh,
Breaking news.
it's coming at you. DIY.
No, you go. I'll do your sound.
You don't think the audio is working? Fuck me. Every single day we have a new audio issue.
I can hear it.
You can hear it. I don't think the audio is.
I think your audio is not working, Larry Polston.
Oh, well, let me look.
I think our audio is fire.
Audio is fire.
All right, now back to our news broadcast. Breaking news.
Okay, can you hear me though?
Can you hear this? Can you chat? Can you hear this? Patriots engage.
Yeah.
Dun dun dun. Full screen. Are there any Patriots in the chat tonight? Any Patriots alive and live in the stream? It's Patriot Hour. Brought you. Yep. Hey, what's up?
How's it going?
I was just doing Patriot Hour.
Nice.
Patriot
Taking
Minute.
the show over. Gavin's not here yet. He's on his way. He's stuck in traffic. I don't know. It was his idea to record at 3 p.m. So we were like, well, fuck it. Let's just record at 3 p.m. And then the man of the hour, he himself has not arrived yet. So we're rocking and rolling.
Mysterious. A lot of questions about Gavin's disappearance. Not really sure. He said he was, off to Pennsylvania yesterday to see the wildflowers, the summer wildflowers.
Yes, I believe so. I believe that he might have had a hitch in his plans. We're not sure exactly what's going on. But I was at work yesterday during what is probably the worst time to have been working if you have any, role in media or podcasting at all. Gavin had to hold down the fort by himself yesterday, react to this insane breaking news. Now we're back for a Circle Jerk America. Get the show on the road. But Griffin,
gather
break down
round,
for me,
children. We have a tale to tell.
When you heard the news, when you got the little alarm bell that sounds whatever happens at the breaking points factory, when the alarm goes off and it's like all the firemen go down the pole and you're like, holy shit, it's breaking news. I have to cover it. What's going on?
Are you asking a question?
I asked what your first reaction was, Griffin. Are you definitely
Zach is so nervous. It's big breaking news. He's nervous. He's all over the place. Hold on. Patriots disengage. All right. What a day.
Well, and the man of the hour is here. Gavin has arrived. We've been waiting for you. He's arriving in style.
Do you see how scared he is without Gavin? It's crazy. We were gonna start hot with some news and be like, Gavin gets in, but it's like you're naked and afraid.
That's true. Honestly, it's so funny. Every time one of us is not on the microphone with the other, is his audio going to work? It should work. Gavin, say something.
Hello? No, your audio didn't work. You muted yourself. You were so. What's up, Gavin?
How's it going, bro?
Hey, what's going on? Hey, so kind of mysterious that you just were a little late. I don't. Were you coming back from something?
Oh no, I was just setting up this. I just got this new phone and I had to set it up.
Oh, that's a likely story. So yeah, you weren't just happening to be maybe at a rally.
So you got rid of your burner phone yesterday afternoon.
Interesting. You threw your phone in the river.
Yeah, I needed a new phone.
You got to ride that mic, or you got to turn him up because we need some answers. So everyone, chat. Let's listen to the next couple sentences out of Gavin's mouth real closely. Okay, we're gonna friends analyze. So his cheeks are red. His cheeks are red as if he's been outside. His face is tanned. And his shirt was a little dirty. I mean, you got some gravel on you, some roof gravel. What's happening here?
This is a fresh shirt. I got this out of the
fresh shirt.
Oh, that's even more suspicious. Why'd you feel the need to change? 1 day of use. That's the little bourgeois.
What did I walk into here? Are you guys interrogating me?
We were curious that maybe Gavin had been involved in the plot. They said you can't trust anybody, and whoever you doubt the most is the person you should first suspect.
Keep your friends close. Keep your potential school shooters even closer. That's something that the modern man has just had to learn.
Speaking of which, Gavin, I think I got us banned from leaving YouTube comments on our own chat because I called this lady a Karen, and now whenever I send chat messages through the chat, YouTube thinks it's spam and won't list them. So we're gonna have to appeal that later.
The fact that your own account is the spam one. I mean, listen, they're not wrong, folks. And Karen, I'm with you. I'm giving you the Trump fist, the bloody Trump fist to
Also,
the Karen in the chat.
I saw that comment. We haven't. That was even before the live stream started. We hadn't even
Yeah.
begun spreading misinformation.
Yeah, she didn't even know what she was in for, folks.
Yeah.
She thought that was the misinformation. Wait till you hear what comes out of
What
our
was
mouth.
did you put some misinformation in the headline? Like, I don't really. What was the issue?
I don't know.
It
YouTube
was
trying to keep the voice of the little man down, the working man. Nothing
It was
YouTube hates
political
more than the
violence.
working man.
Well,
Just like
it was-
Griffin.
Well, it was honestly, it wasn't about misinformation. It was y'all's rhetoric that was leading to violence. And
Oh.
I think that we can trace a lot of what's going on in the news right now, right back to this show in terms of what we've been predicting, what we've been warning everyone about for a while. Let's get right to it. We've got Gavin here finally. Let's play the damn video. God
The moment of
intervened.
truth. Dave Portnoy puts it out. He landed.
Trump is kind of experiencing what I like to call reverse Final Destination, where death keeps like trying to kill him, but then
Yes.
it's intervened.
Let's watch.
Thing that said, take a look at what happened.
And at this point, everybody has one thing on their mind when you're watching this video for the first time. You're like, oh,
Oh shit!
did it hit
You're
him?
like,
Did it
yeah.
get him right here? Was it enough?
yeah,
How close
was-
to the JFK situation were we?
exactly.
Right? That's what everybody wants to know. Are we dealing with a
A
Ronald
millimeter.
Reagan situation or a JFK situation? That's what the people were wondering.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. For the first time I saw this, there was about 5 minutes there where I
Five.
genuinely thought the president of the United States was either dead or incapacitated, or not the president, but the former president. Donald Trump. I
Yeah.
thought he was either dead or incapacitated. I thought he actually got shot at first. That's what my eyes picked up. I thought he was really reacting that way, not just grazed, but hit. But then those other videos started popping up of him rising up, throwing the fist, and yeah.
It's crazy too, because it had to have been like a hair away from him. It
Oh,
had to
yeah.
have been so close. If it nicked his ear, I mean, if you're a millimeter closer to your temple, then it's gonna do serious damage to you.
Yeah, we were like a Zach's penis away from from a different reality.
No, that was the second shot. That was the second shot. The long
girthy,
range.
the one that
you
killed
know.
someone. Yeah, your shot was the one that took down an innocent man, a firefighter, and a father.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the other interesting thing about this. Apparently,
Gavin, can you
one-
ride your mic, or can we turn Gavin up? He's just a little softer than Zach. Maybe you
Yeah,
should
it's just
just
because he
ride
doesn't speak as loud as me.
Sorry
Griffin.
about that. Yeah.
Just ride it.
I'll
You
try
got
to
it.
speak more like
Just eat
Zach.
it.
No, I'm
it. No, just eat that shit.
The one
Yeah.
interesting thing about this, though, I don't know if you figured out yet, Griffin, but apparently one innocent, person that was attending this rally was killed. What's weird to me, though, is that was he behind Trump? Is it one
Yeah.
of these
Yes.
people? So one of these
Yes.
people is dead on the ground right now.
Well,
in
he
this
dove
video.
to cover his daughter.
He
I
was
believe.
he was shielding his daughter, his
Yeah.
his 20-year-old ish or 20-something daughter. Yeah.
Yeah, and then she got
Damn.
Yeah, brutal.
but-
Let's keep watching. Let's keep analyzing. Let's find out what really happened here. And folks,
This
we're
Griffin
doing-
right up here. This guy, hunched over with the Trump 2024, looking at what happened. That's going to be us.
well, do you see the guy in the middle?
What
guy
in the
with
hell?
The guy with like the Bob Dylan kind of look in the middle
Yeah.
here. So
Dirtbag Dylan over here, right? It looks
Yeah.
by the shade, it looks like he has a shirt of Donald Trump in blackface, giving the thumbs up.
That guy does not seem scared at all. The Dylan guy.
No,
And-
they're all
and-
just like,
and
what
ga-
the hell's going on?
And
It's like
let's
he's-
try to keep it super serious. There's people screaming. The president almost died. No jokes, guys.
Yeah,
All right, so we're hearing the Secret Service.
this guy's copped out. Halo.
He's like, I'm standing.
Take me instead, damn it. Not the president, not Donald Trump.
Shooters down. Are we good to move?
All right, so they're covering him.
And look at
They're
these
asking
guys. They
people
don't
to
know what
move.
the fuck they're doing, too.
Yeah.
Look at this guy. He's all dressed up like RoboCop, but he's just looking all around with his gun. He doesn't know what the fuck to do. This isn't a tactical team.
We're clear.
One thing I was thinking about a lot is like, the whole strategy, like right now is like to cover his body or whatever. So they all like fucking like pancake him just to like cover his body. And like, even that is got to be pretty intense for someone like as old and as out of shape as Trump, right? Just to get like fucking body slammed by like
Biden, that would have taken him out.
Right. Like I'm saying, like, I think it's Biden would not have survived a fake assassination attempt, much less a real one.
He survived the bullet, but not the Secret Service.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I got you, sir. I got you, sir.
Let me get my shoes.
Hold on.
It was an actual cracked femur that was the undoing of the president of the United States.
So we gotta move to the bus.
I like this part. Like, my shoes. Where are my shoes? I need my shoes.
What's up?
Okay, I did want to get your guys' opinion on something, because when I was reacting to this live yesterday, and obviously as we all were monitoring the news on Twitter and seeing people's reactions, one thing I immediately started seeing off the bat, as could be easily predicted, is this looks super staged. This looks super fake. To be honest, I don't think it does. Like, I think this genuinely looks chaotic. This looks unplanned. This in no way looks choreographed to me. So yeah, I don't really understand where people are getting that idea, other than just everything is a conspiracy now. We live in, a post-truth society, so everything is fake. Like,
if it was staged, Trump would get shot in the heart and then survive and like grab the bullet and like throw it back, and then like a bunch of women in the back row would like take their tops off. That's like that's what he would do if it was staged. No, this is a chaotic event where he was grazed and God intervened. Well, I guess God planned everything. So God wanted
it was a divine intervention. You can choose to ignore that shit, but not me. He's prepared to walk away now from a life of politics, Pulp Fiction style. I think that's what we're all going to bear witness to after this is over. I think we're about to watch a man who has seen the light of day. You know what I mean? He's going to have, some other Vincents in the world, some naysayers, some people who don't believe what has clearly taken place. But I think Donald Trump's a good Christian man. He's going to recognize that act of divine intervention, and he's going to know he has to change his ways.
That's actually an interesting theory. A lot of times, after a near-death experience, people will go through massive changes. I remember, Gaspar Noé, one of my favorite directors, gave up drugs and salt after almost dying. So maybe Trump gives up McDonald's. Maybe he goes woke. The options are kind of limitless here.
I would like to see Enter the Void with Trump as the main character, just floating around, just re-experiencing the last moments of his life. Yeah, so like Gaspar is awful, says someone in the chat. Yeah, like all of his movies make me physically vomit. So maybe I guess
Gavin's gonna cry. He's shedding real tears on the inside now. He's trying to poker face it. Anyway, we can finish this out.
Let's keep going. No, let's re-enter this void. Okay, he goes for the fist, and let's pause it one more time here, because I saw a lot of libs with the staged remark be like, "Oh, it's like he gets shot and he immediately is like fist punching and not worried." But what actually happened? But if you watch it, yeah, he threw up the blood sign. He just knew how to do it. The thing is like, if you watch the full clip, he's down on the ground for like over 60 seconds. And in that 60 seconds, they fully confirmed that the shooter's dead. So at that point, Trump knows the shooter is dead and is like being lifted up. So of course, TV magic moment. He's like, I'm going to make this moment happen. And he does.
Bro, Trump is honestly, the best thing about him is he never misses a moment like this. He never misses a media opportunity. And I think that, to be honest, this kind of ties the knot on the election. I don't see how there's any way for him to come back from this. Now he's persecuted. Now there's, not just the court system against him, not just the liberal media against him, Republicans and rhinos who can't take his successor against him too. Everybody's against him because he's a real leader, and he's raising his fists and he's telling everybody, fight, fight, fight. I mean, motherfucker, man, compare that to Joe Biden and his response after this, which we'll get to, I imagine, at some point in this stream. It's not even close. It's not even close to just winning the neutral person who doesn't give a fuck about politics and just wants to be on the winning team.
Yeah, I saw that theory too, Griffin. People saying this isn't how someone would act, moments after an assassination. I'm like, yeah, that's not how most people would act. We're not talking about most people. We're talking about fucking Donald Trump. One of a kind. This is a special beast.
Yeah, and to be any kind of performer, actor, major star is to have a certain type of mental illness, and he's just expressing it here. Going back to just like how close it was here, I'm putting this most recent link in the private chat. This is how close it got. This is a shot of one of the bullets. I guess this is the bullet that Zach says is his penis size.
The giant schlong bullet. Yeah,
This is the
magic
schlong bullet. This is like the long, slender man penis.
Could it be me then?
Can you click on the image?
Yeah. Hanging brain is my forte. Wow, holy shit.
Yeah, this is yeah. It kind of looks like a
photo captured by White House press corps colleague Doug Mills. Zoom in right above President Trump's shoulder and you'll see a bullet. Gavin, I think you unplugged the monitor.
No,
zoom
it's
in right
okay.
above the president's shoulder and you'll see a bullet flying in. It came back on, Gavin. I think we're good. It just got nozzled. The air to the right of Trump's head following an attempted assassination.
This is also like what it looks like in those old Capri Sun commercials when like the silver stuff is like messing with the kids. And then, yeah, I mean, unbelievable. It looks like it grazed like the back of his head, like the side, the back side. Like has anyone been shot more perfectly? Like he's totally fine. It got a decent amount of blood for the camera, but he's totally fine. Like he didn't even get hit in like the shoulder.
Yeah, I mean,
or the foot.
It just goes to show that like this is what happens if you just give a crazy person a gun in this country, right? Like, yeah, they will
do
go
a
out
really bad job.
Well, exactly. I mean, think about it, dude. Most people don't know how to fire a fucking gun. This is a crazy kid, some fucking asshole that's like, I'm gonna go shoot the fucking president, right? It's a high stress situation. Yeah, he's not firing correctly. You know what I mean? I did see a hilarious tweet that was like, how are you gonna miss the big fat orange target? They shot Tupac at night. You know what I mean? But
yeah, it's definitely pretty crazy that this happened. I mean, yeah, it's like it's not even enough to like really traumatize Trump. It didn't hit him in the shoulder, like you said.
Yeah,
it's not even like he really survived anything. Anyone would have, survived this. He just got super lucky, which seems to define his entire political career.
Yeah, it's crazy too. We were joking about this before the podcast started, but he's always kind of fancied himself as the 21st century of Reagan, like a resurgence of the Reagan to the Republican Party. He even named his, slogan, "Make America Great Again." And now he's officially checked that off of his Reagan box, a foiled assassination attempt. And I believe it's the first assassination attempt on a sitting U.S. president since Ronald Reagan.
Yeah, I mean, and the president's on 24.
I'm sure some people have tried, but they just ran up to the White House and immediately got shot or something. But yeah,
there's been, obviously there's been like political attacks, like the Paul Pelosi and stuff, like the Paul Pelosi one, I guess, was totally fair game for everyone to just laugh at and be like, lol, they're gay guys. But this one we have to take a lot more seriously because Trump is I guess, we're not allowed to
He's
make
the president
jokes.
of the United
I just
States.
want
You show some
consistency.
respect, dang it.
I want to say to all political attacks that it's that LOL. And I just want some consistency there.
God dang right as an American, Griffin.
I just want to say if that's what if we're attacking Nancy, we're attacking Trump. But if you don't want to attack either, I'm okay with that too. I'm just leveling the playing field here.
I don't know. I think we should hear from this fine chap. Let's see what happens if you attack Donald Trump around this guy.
Yeah, let's
this
see.
mean man. This is Michigan's finest, Ron Hunter.
You fuck with Trump? With me.
Yeah. White boy of the year. That's right.
Even me if someone tried to assassinate Bernie Sanders.
Kid Rock is on the same cruise that James Carville is on right now. Everyone's fucking radioing in from some fucking boats right now. That's
Wait,
how
doesn't Kid Rock do his own cruise line where it's like,
oh my god,
summer,
really?
We rock the boat, and it's like him and the dudes from Creed and I don't know whoever else would fit on that ticket. It's like
we should take that cruise.
Honestly, I would.
Yeah,
I remember one time he was talking to Tucker Carlson, and he's like, "Yeah, these guys from GQ, they sent a bunch of gay kids over to write about our yachts and our cruise ship. And we was like, hey, bro, we'll just party with you. We don't care that you're queers. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they were expecting us to be all crazy and stuff. We were like, no, I'll party with gay guys. I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? And I was like, oh, you're so woke.
Yeah, shout out to Kid Rock. Apparently he donated a measly 30K, but still more than I donated.
Donated to the victims of the Trump assassination kit. I can't believe it. That's totally not in line with his brand.
No, you know what? That's
in any
that's
way.
what makes him white boy the summer. We got to give it to him, you know. But going back to that other one you had, Zach, that was the map of the event because there's more stuff that's coming up about. I mean, I guess we've talked about Trump, and obviously we can talk a little bit later about Trump's improving chances after being almost killed and how like would be pretty hard for almost anyone, I think, to beat that at this point. But we need to talk more about what a big fuck up this was, like historically, because like this was like a basic like roof clear, right? I mean, we got a map up right here from our boy Richie Torres.
Oh, well, shout out to Richie.
Yeah, Richie's like taking time away from not getting laid to do some real public service.
This man's doing it for the good. But yeah, that's crazy. Here's the thing. We have so many cops in this country, and they're all fucking worthless. So it's hard for me to be surprised that the Secret Service is somehow, not the exception to that standard. Like, yeah, okay, you just let a bunch of fat, stupid fucking Republicans who wanted to be near the president not want to go shoot a bunch of brown people overseas. Because you got two options, really, when you join the military. You're either a kid from, like, fucking Podunk, Texas, that just really wants to shoot a gun at a Talibaner, whatever the fuck, right? Or you're poor and you do your 4 years and then you get the fuck out, right? But the thing is that most of the guys that decide to be cops, most of the guys that decide to be Secret Service, I don't know if you have to go through the military to be Secret Service or not, or if you just do it. I
mean, everyone has to go through the IDF training to do any American job with a gun.
Exactly. And so you have these guys, they're all the same. It's the Uvalde cops. It's just the meathead thugs that want to crack your skull open, but they're not competent at all. They're probably some of the least sophisticated individuals that you could find off of the street. They're lazy, they're boneheaded, and they're just there to collect their overtime and stand around. They hate doing nothing more than their actual job, right?
We've got like a lot of regular orcs, and the Secret Service to me were always supposed to be the Uruk-hai, the higher level orcs, the more intelligent leader, chieftain orcs. Regular cops give me kind of like, oh, we're the boys energy, but like the Secret Service always gave me dad energy. They were a more serious force, and that's what I was supposed to believe. They do the special jobs. They get to like have rocket launchers and hang out on roofs a lot, and like roofs was their thing, man.
Yeah.
Like roofs, I was like, that's like the first thing you get on all the roofs. Like they used to love being on roofs, and now I don't know. We're still trying to figure out why. But I mean, looking at this map here, so we got the law enforcement snipers on this roof. Then we've got so they're kind of behind where Trump was. So Trump is like speaking there, and then looks like the wounded rally attendee. So is that the guy that got shot? So he was kind of grazed that way. And then it was coming from across
because he's right in the line of where the
shooter
was.
So Trump kind of turned his head, and then it kind of like sliced him that way when he was like looking towards where the shots were coming from. Interesting.
I'll tell you what, though, the one thing that surprised me even less than the absolute incompetence of the pigs.
Your mic got cut. Let's go. Patriots engage. Your mic's cut, or is my mic cut? Patriots engage. Patriots stand back. Is it me? You're muted. Chat. This is gonna be great in podcast form too. Yo, what up, Gavin?
1 sec. Zach's reloading the audio, so we got the awkward cam for just.
The second he was like, and that's why we have to. I'll just read the transcript for what Zach just said. And that's why we have to kill all the cops. Whoa, Zach.
Yeah, exactly.
Some of those guys are just trying to pay the bills. Okay.
So let's try this again because they took out our audio. They were afraid of what the circle jerks had to say about this kid. But I'm telling you right now, everyone, that you take one look at this kid and it was either going to be a Donald Trump rally or an elementary school. So, hey, I'm just saying, can we really just cut our losses? Can we just say, hey, you know what? At least it wasn't Sandy Hook 2. At least it wasn't Parkville. At least it was somewhere where there was Secret Service that could murk this kid immediately. I'm not shedding any tears that it was at a Trump rally. Thank God it wasn't somewhere near my house.
Yeah.
I'm taking one look at this kid and I'm staying the fuck away from him.
Yeah, this guy. I mean, what can you say other than Thomas Matthew Crooks? A lot of people were mentioning how all these guys have like 3 like names, all these like killers. What was his face? Basically any killer's got 3 names.
Yeah, like John Wayne Gacy or
there you go.
Fucking
who was the dude that tried to assassinate Reagan? Was that a 3-name?
Who killed? I mean, everyone technically has 3 names, but if you insist on having your middle name, then then you might be a serial killer.
John Hinckley Jr. That's another 3-parter.
Then
you have the guy who shot John Lennon.
And you know why? And then guess what?
Mark David Chapman.
And then RFK was shot by Sirhan, and that's 2 names, so that's fake. That's not what happened. Sirhan only has 2 names, so something else is happening there.
Yeah, he got denied parole for the last time. For people who don't know, Sirhan was definitely involved with the deep state government, but we don't have to get into that. That's a topic for another day.
When we get really successful and open up a tequila, we're calling it Sirhan.
I am interested in your guys' opinion on this shooter though, because obviously the image comes out. He looks like a 4chan dwelling incel type. Then people say he's a registered Republican, to which most of the sane, people in this country breathe a massive sigh of relief, right? Because if this dude had been a leftist radical or a black guy,
he's white,
trans person, what was that?
The first sigh was that he's white.
Right,
I was freaking,
and cis.
I was Tom Hanks and Elvising hard. I was going, he's white. I was,
thank God,
a happy fat man.
People talk a lot about the, increasing divisiveness and the toxic political climate. Obviously, this has only made things worse, but I think we really can't kind of overstate how important it is for the sake of that toxic climate and increasing divisiveness. I really do think it's important that this was a pretty seemingly a straightforward case of one of these loner incel types, a white kid, a young kid. So it's not like all these Republic. It's not like we're going to see a massive spike in, trans hate crimes over the next 2 months, like we would have.
The bodies are still warm, Gavin. There's all sorts of imagination that's about to happen from
the DEI that allowed it to happen. For one, we could get.
They have zeroed in on the fact that women work at the Secret Service now. Although the women those were men on the rooftops fucking up. There was technically women like standing not close enough to one of the cars for a second, but like other than that, they let the guys on the roofs. Maybe the women should be on the roofs.
Well, here's the most damning part, I think, if you read this, and shouts out to Sagar and Jetty for pointing this out. AP,
shouts out to a friend of the pod, friend of the show.
Big fan of ours, Sagar and Jetty. AP, local cop climbed a ladder to confront assassin. Assassin pointed a gun at him and he retreated. Okay, guys, think about how many times in your life you can point a gun at a cop, have the cop run away, and then nothing else happens to you until like you shoot the president. I mean, come on, guys. This is what we're talking about. This is the level of sheer incompetence we are unpacking when we say.
I mean, to be fair to the cop, you're on the ladder. It's not like you have time to do anything.
You wouldn't go and get somebody and be like, hey, we got to get this guy.
It was probably a comical happenstance, like a Wallace and Gromit cartoon, where it was like the fat guy gets up to the top of the ladder. He sees the shooter and he's like, oh, and then he starts flailing and the ladder starts going backwards. I bet it was really funny.
Here's what I don't understand about this entire thing, because I understand the incompetence of the Secret Service not having people on all the roofs, right? It's sketchy, it's weird, but at least it kind of makes sense. All right, they didn't cover the rooftops.
What? That doesn't
You know,
make sense
properly.
at all.
I
How
know,
did
but
you-
here,
Okay.
let me get to what I
follow
really don't
you.
think makes sense, because I agree that
Take
that
me
already doesn't
down.
make sense, but at least it exists in my, realm of like fuck ups of things that could perceivably happen. What doesn't make any sense to me is they clearly, for at least 1 to 2 minutes, the Secret Service knew this kid was on the roof in position with a gun, and they let former President Trump keep speaking. Don't you think he has an earpiece? Don't you think they could have just said, yo, duck right the fuck now, there's someone on a roof? Like, wouldn't that be the first thing they do? Immediately signal to him or tell him through an earpiece, like, you got to get down now, before they even neutralize the assassin?
It sounds like it happened within seconds of them encountering him. It would be funny if he saw him and then like he was like, I'm keeping that to myself. It's too
But
embarrassing.
that is kind of
Like,
what reports say. That BBC
but
interview.
we don't know the
with that
timeline,
Trump
right?
Supporter, the BBC interview with that Trump supporter, he's saying, I
Let's
was
play it.
screaming at
Let's
the cops
watch
to
it.
do something, and I couldn't believe that I could still hear Trump speaking for a minute, 2 minutes, as this was all beginning to go down. Did you see that interview, Griffin?
Yeah, I have that here. One second.
Let's play it right here. Hey, Jamie.
Yep, young Jamie, pull that shit up, okay?
Inside someone who was here. You weren't inside the event, but you were just outside. Tell us what you saw. So we had a party here all day. You can see behind us at the Brinkles Farming Greenhouse here. We had a party, and we all decided, hey, when we hear Trump up there, we're going to walk up through the field, stand by the trees out there under the shade, and watch and listen to the rally. Right? We couldn't see him, but we could hear him. So we walked
Feel
up,
him.
and probably 5 to 7 minutes of Trump speaking. I'm estimating here. I have no idea, but we noticed a guy crawling, bear crawling up the roof of the building.
Jesus.
50 feet away from us. So we're standing there, we're pointing at the guy crawling up the roof.
And he had a gun, right?
He had a rifle. We could clearly see him with a rifle. Absolutely.
So this guy more astute and observant than the Secret Service and the local police department combined.
Yeah. And let's be real. This guy was like tailgating. He was probably buzzed, and still, it's like sometimes when it's like,
This is a red-blooded American. I'm sorry, you're from the coast, Griffin. That's where people get buzzed. We're from Middle America, where people get shit hammered, bro. He said he was having a party with his pals out in a parking lot. That means he's at least 12, 13 Coors Lights deep at this point.
Yeah, buzzed. I'm buzzed.
Police are down there running around on the ground. We're like, hey, man, there's a guy on the roof with a rifle. And the police were like, huh, what? Like they didn't know what was going on. We're
Sounds just like the police.
like, hey, right here on the roof. We can see him from right here. We see him.
Hopefully this incident at least unites the left and the right against the police.
Yes. Chuds are going to start asking to defund the police.
He's
They're
crawling.
going to say, Portland, we
And
forgive you.
Next thing you know, I'm thinking to myself, why is Trump still speaking? Why have they not pulled him off the stage? I'm standing there pointing at him.
Oh my God.
2 to 3 minutes.
Soon,
2 to 3 minutes?
starts crawling up the roof.
2 to 3 minutes?
I'm pointing at
I
that
missed
roof.
this part.
Yeah.
Holy
Here,
shit.
go back a sec.
Okay, okay. I think what happened was, here's the timeline. They were alerting the cops. The cops were slow to react. Then finally a cop goes up on the ladder, and that's what pushes the shooter to act in that moment. So I think that they hadn't fully locked eyes yet on anybody. So like they hadn't called it, but they should have said something. Yeah, they should have called a warning out or
They should
something.
have just said, Trump, get down. Even if the Secret Service didn't jump on him. Like if you see someone climbing up a roof, even if they don't have a gun, I feel like that would be the immediate first reaction. Like in Trump's earpiece, get the fuck down. Someone's climbing a roof. One of the only 3 roofs within a mile radius of where you are right now. Get the fuck down.
There's also a photo of him laying flat down on that roof from definitely minutes before the shooting happens. And then you have to imagine that somebody had seen him, as that guy pointed out, actually do the act of crawling up there and resting up there. Like, did they not sweep the area? It's just sheer unbridled incompetence. But yeah, let's hear this one more time.
Yeah.
And again,
looking at
I was just gonna say, like, I don't think it's necessary to go full conspiracy theory about this. Like, I think
But if
that
we were-
I think that if this was like a a government CIA JFK style op, then it would have been successful. Like, we have to think about that too, right? I don't think this dude would have missed, or I think they would have given him another chance at it if it was like some.
I that's where I disagree with you. I feel like the
Mm.
CIA they pulled off so many cooler tricks back in the day, and now I feel like it's just a bunch of Excel spreadsheet motherfuckers that just like can't do anything cool in the real world. That's just my take. But
and
yeah,
was
I mean,
on top of the barn. I'm pointing at that roof, just standing there like this, and next thing you know, 5 shots rang out. So you're certain that the shots came from that guy on the roof? 100%.
I love this
100%.
you guys
And
do.
he was up there for a couple of minutes. He was up there. You saw him up there for a couple of minutes. Absolutely. At least 3 to 4 minutes. And you were telling the police and the Secret Service. We were telling the police. We were pointing at.
Look at him. He's got a fucking cold one in his hand, by the way. When he's doing this interview, it's in a koozie. Let's go ahead and investigate that a little bit. Right here, everybody.
Yes, we called it buzzed.
100%. Okay. And to be fair, my bartender eyes are gonna tell me that this is actually a Busch Light. So we lied. The man's crushing Busch lattes.
Kind of looks like a Miller High Life to me.
Liberal.
I don't know.
Liberal.
That's a blue rim around the
Wow.
can.
That's fucking awesome, dude. Yeah, it's like he's buzzed. He's doing a better job than the cops. It reminds me of when I get in an Uber after like a night of drinking and like the Uber is driving poorly, and I'm like, I should have just driven drunk. Like that would have been safer than what I'm experiencing right now.
Bro, when I was drunk in the back of an Uber in San Diego one time, we literally
you grabbed the wheel.
I was hanging on for dear life because I was drunk as fuck, and we end up getting like this close to an intersection crash because the dude runs a red light while I'm in the back of his fucking car. Anyway,
and imagine if this guy hadn't been drinking, he would have been irritated, and he may have not noticed about the shooter. But I imagine he's drinking. He looks to his left. He sees this guy up on the roof, and he instantly is like, "That's not Secret Service," because he's so clearly a school shooter type. He's like, "Hey, there's this guy's virgin up on the roof over here. Yeah, we got a guy who's definitely not had sex once in his life."
I can't tell if he's with us, if he's a Proud Boy or something, or if he's one of them, non-ideological fucking killers.
He seemed cool. And so I just want to say, let's not totally demonize everyone in the MAGA movement, because some of them are very useful if you give them 10 to 12 beers.
Honestly, they should just replace all the Secret Service guys with those people at that rally tailgating.
Yeah, 100%. I think Trump is safer in the parking lot with the tailgaters, I think, at this point.
It's interesting because apparently it had recently come up. I think Griffin, you were actually the one that pointed this out to me. That oh god,
this was also let's give a shout out to friend of the pod Sagar and Jetty again. This was also a spotlight from him. He's kind of our national security Secret Service expert, Sagar and Jetty, and he pulled this up, which is that like 2 months ago they put out like a petition for people to sign that basically the training at the Secret Service sucks now. And they're letting a bunch of, I guess, new recruits in that are not as good. So I don't know.
Nobody wants to be a fucking cop anymore. Shocker.
But again, Secret Service is like something cooler, right?
ACAB,
like,
bro.
I feel like it's elevated from like local PD, right?
I mean, it is elevated
definitely,
from
yeah.
local PD, but it's the same shit. Different toilet, gold toilet.
It's also possible that they just had more passion when they were protecting like Obama, but Trump, Biden, like it's not that exciting to protect those guys.
Maybe, yeah. But I mean, this is like a super embarrassing fuck up. I think they're doing some announcements or like some hearings or committees on how it got fucked up. But I mean, are you guys seeing all the conservatives? They've determined that it's just that there's just women working in there now.
Yep.
That's
It's
the problem.
DEI, bro.
DEI. That took like 3 seconds.
Yep. And I think they might be onto something. Back in the day, in American history, there were never any assassination attempts when male Secret Service agents dominated the force. When it was all men, We never lost a president. I'm trying to think. Have we ever lost a president to assassinate? It's so un-American to think to assassinate your president or to do any kind of political violence. You know, Gavin, I've always said political violence has no home in American history. Really, we've turned over a new leaf since 1776. You know, we rang that Liberty Bell and we said, you know what? Let's stop with political violence. Let's put the guns down. That's always been the American way. And frankly, I think it's the women that got involved that changed everything, because otherwise, you know, we would have clearly been able to stop that. You know, there has been no. I don't know.
I am interested in your guys' opinions too on what exactly the motivation of the shooter was, because it does seem pretty unclear at the moment. I don't know if there's any breaking details. I feel like it wouldn't be that hard to figure out. I mean, look through the guy's laptop. I'm sure there's some, you know, posts, some Discord messages maybe. But I am interested because, like I said, registered Republican, but people also pointed out that he apparently
$15.
Yeah, $50 to Act Blue.
He made a $15 donation to Act Blue. Maybe he thought that meant something else. I don't know.
Yeah, Act Blue. Honestly, he was probably just a loser, right? Like, I think that's what
No, this was the coolest shooter ever. He was the popular kid. He would walk down the hallways and do finger guns at people. And then one day it turned into real guns.
Yeah.
Wait, so here's a video I put in the chat here. It's a video of I guess this one.
He
right
was
here.
bullied almost every day.
In what way? Can you explain?
I mean, he would sit alone at lunch. I mean, he was just an outcast, and you know how kids are nowadays. So they're gonna see someone like that, and they're gonna target him because they think it's funny or whatever. So it's the best way I can describe it.
That's why he did it, for the fucking lols.
And it's honestly kind of sad. Like, I don't want to say this is what provoked it, but you never know.
Yeah. You said he was a loner?
Yeah. I want to say he was a loner more because he was quiet, but like he was just bullied. Like he was bullied so much.
Well, did you ever stand up for him, motherfucker? Probably not.
Probably not. But it's also like
you
can't
ever
blame
stopped
the guy for
Okay,
that.
hold on. Have you stopped a bullying incident ever? Like, I don't think anyone. How many people here can be like, I've intervened in a bullying incident?
I was like Batman in middle school. Every time I saw a bully,
He was. You know, it's true. I remember. In fact, I had to lecture Gavin about the pains of bullying on this very podcast. There was a guy that we went to elementary school with named Chippy, and I told Gavin it was hurtful not to call the kid that. No, I'm kidding.
No, he didn't want to be called
I know.
Everyone.
No, Gavin exposed me for being a 5th grade bully when one day during our podcast, because he was like, "You remember that kid Chippy?" And I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Yeah, that kid fucking hated that people called." Anyway,
so this kid, he was 20 years old. He got bullied. He wore hunting jackets to school. It was like, come on, can we spice this up a little bit here?
He went
like
bowling before he went to the Trump rally, right?
This is what I like to call normie shooter. Okay, like nothing interesting, nothing to say, just absolute. Well, Gavin was putting on this earlier, and you know, it is lucky, but it is a vanilla flavor shooter in every single way. Nothing interesting. There's no like a planet or an alien didn't tell him to do it.
We definitely Gavin was a huge bully. In fact, Gavin was so popular in high school that I only bullied other kids so that he would think I was cool.
Yep. Totally.
So yeah, I guess that's what it was. Trump got the luckiest shots from the normiest shooter.
Yeah. I am interested though, like what his political ideology was. And was this at all politically motivated? Because some people were speculating that maybe he was like a groyper. Apparently Nick Fuentes has actually, been calling out Trump for like being controlled by the Jews and stuff. And this kid didn't look, he didn't look like a freaking, progressive lefty or some environmentalist necessarily. He was wearing like a gun t-shirt. So I feel like there's a possibility. The Act Blue, yeah.
I clocked them across the way. Oh, that's an Act Blue donator right there. Yeah, he had a gun YouTube channel on his shirt. Has that guy had a message yet? That's gotta suck, right? He's like a gun YouTuber guy.
Yeah,
I think it's a store or channel or something like that has a bunch of gun related shit. But yeah, it's just weird.
Why you guys should not make merch. We should not make merch for the show ever, just to avoid that.
Yeah,
know.
merch is such a pain in the ass.
Someone will just wear DIY circle jerk merch to the shooting.
When they're bleeding out, they're putting it on the wall. They're like, it's like, man, did you have to do that? Couldn't you just have a manifesto or something normal? Yeah. So I mean, let's talk. Let's go national now. Secret Service fucked up. This kid is boring. Trump is blessed by God, and you know, people are like blessed by God. Today we're all MAGA.
You know, this is liberals at their absolute fucking
Is
worst.
that a real Rolling Stone?
Oh,
Their most
this
base.
is a real article.
Or not Rolling Stone,
It's-
New Yorker.
I think is it New Yorker or the Atlantic? I think it's probably New Yorker.
It looks
There
New
was that
Yorker.
one, and then there was also one that said, "Will Donald Trump being shot?" help
Oh
him
God,
with
I have that
blacks?"
one. Don't forget. No, yeah. We can pull that whole thing up. All right, let's look here. I got that one right here.
Oh,
This
yeah.
is the
So-
archive. They deleted it. Shout out to
So-
Griffin for holding it down for us before it
I had a-
disappeared.
I had a sixth sense that this one was going to get deleted quick. So I absolutely, and this I think is written by a black guy. So I don't want to overstep here, but the headline: Will surviving gunfire be Donald Trump's next appeal to black voters?
Oh. This guy's a DEI expert, by the way, Griffin.
That's true.
Sean Harper is the
I'm out of my depth.
An inclusion expert.
I-
Okay, so why don't you check yourself? Okay, why don't you? Hey,
I'm fucking
Griffin,
dead.
your microaggressions are not welcome here. You asked if I've ever stood up to a bully. Watch me stand
Yeah,
up to a
right
bully
now.
right now.
Right
Watch me
here.
stand up to
Right
a
now.
bully
Right here.
now. This white privilege not going to stand, Griffin. You need to check that at the door. And I honestly, I want you to pen a personal apology to Sean Harper.
I
You know
will.
what? Because you could never understand what it's like to walk in his shoes or Donald Trump's. Thank you. Okay, you don't know the pain of gun violence. Okay.
Yeah, I can't. I haven't walked in the Nike Air Maxes of Donald Trump.
Mm-hmm. The blood stained Nike Air Maxes.
Remember those gold shoes he put out?
Oh,
Oh,
God, yeah, I do remember that. And then somebody only paid like $600 for them. I was like, bro, that's nothing in sneaker culture.
Yeah, that's cheap. That's
Yeah,
cheap
that's-
in sneaker
That's
culture.
like a pair of shoes that I would feasibly like brainstorm about buying. And there are like way better pairs of shoes out there. Not that I would buy those shoes, but $600. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't actually do it, but it would be within my realm of fantasy. You know, you see a $10,000 pair of shoes, you're like, I'm not even fantasizing about that. Anyway, shots were fired at Trump
we don't-
campaign rally. He
Yeah, I mean-
emerged bloody, but fortunately not critically injured. President Trump thanks law enforcement and first responders for their quick action during this heinous act. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, he's like, fired, you're fired, you're fired, you're fired. They're all fired. I want them in jail for all of them. They're corrupt.
So, do you think he was doing black power when he did the fist?
That's honestly now you're thinking. You know, with my
He goes. Let me get my shoes, and also Wakanda forever, Wakanda forever, incredible.
Trump
fight,
forever.
fight for phase 4. We have to stop Jonathan. What's his face?
It's crazy because the whole liberal media line up until this shooting was Trump is an existential threat to democracy. Donald
Yeah.
Trump is a fascist. He will be an evil dictator who will ruin America if he's allowed to win in November. And now they're telling you, oh my God, I'm so happy nothing bad happened to him. It's like you can't have your cake and eat it too. Is he either a fucking brutal dictator that's going to jeopardize all of America, or are you so happy that nothing bad happened to him? Because you really,
Yeah,
have to
the
pick.
Democratic strategy playbook for the last 24 hours has been a moment of silence for Hitler. Like
Literally.
it's just it is confusing, and it has confused a lot of people, because I think a certain amount of people, I guess, are admitting that they don't believe that Trump is Hitler or something, and that we should treat him like any other political candidate.
That's what they've always
or,
meant.
you
You know,
know.
it's just marketing to them that they hate Donald Trump. They're not
Mhm.
actually concerned with Project 2025. They're not actually concerned with the corporate tax cuts. They're not actually concerned with the climate change and the existential threat of the increased, climate devastation of weather and all that shit. I sound like a dumb person because I'm not articulating this very well, but natural disasters, all that kind of shit. It's a very real threat. And instead of taking it seriously, you realize that it's all one big LARP. It's all a big cosplay to them, because at the end of the day, they're way more concerned with somebody deciding to shoot them because they didn't condemn this enough than they are with Donald Trump winning another election.
Yeah, I'm questioning everything. Is Trump a good guy? Are we all voting for Trump now? I mean, the bullet changed everything. But yeah, it's like so they're all confused about that. Obviously, they're pulling all of their ads. The Biden team is pulling all of their ads in like battleground states right now, which, you know, admittedly is the classy thing to do, but also kind of just crazy that we're going to kind of like roll the carpet out for Trump to kind of have this massive moment where like his entire life he's claimed to be the victim and played and just acted like such a little bitch. And for the first time in his life, he's an actual victim. And it seems like everyone's just going to like give him space for that.
I am interested, like, if the Democrats took a different approach, because obviously I agree it's hypocritical, but it's also like, I don't really think they have any other option. Like if all these Democrats just start tweeting like, too bad he missed. Like, I don't think that would have really resonated
The old Destiny tweet.
public either. The only potential approach I could see them taking, although I still think it would, find them being accused of distasteful rhetoric. The only angle I could see them going is like cutting ads where it's like, Republicans want to cry about political violence, but they've stoked it, and then play clips of Trump inciting violence, or, Republicans want to cry about gun violence, but it's their laws that enabled a crazy man like this to get his hands on a gun in the first place. Something like that, where it kind of points out their hypocrisy without straight up like celebrating an attempted murder. That's the only angle where I could kind of see them like, sticking it to the Republicans without just straight up being distasteful. Do you think that would be at all successful, or do you think Americans would just like not fuck with that?
My plan was for the Biden administration to erect a monument for Thomas Matthew Crooks. I think that was the smartest move. I mean, to be honest, he's already sending a nice flower basket to the man's family, because it gave him the biggest gift he could have ever asked for. If Joe Biden went to bed a good fucking Catholic boy and said his prayer the night before, it would be that somebody literally tried to assassinate his opponent, because it was one of the only chances he had at getting re-election. Now, Joe Biden, he's been a bad man. God didn't answer his prayers as asked, but he got close, right? And he says, you know what, Joe, you're not going to be president again, but we are going to create this huge media spectacle that does allow you to at least lose with honor and dignity in November. You're not going to be 25th Amendmented. You're not going to be, swapped out at the convention now. The party's going to say that they want stability in this country, that they want unity in this country, and they don't want to do anything that's too disruptive. They don't want to stoke any fervor, right? They don't want Alex Garland to have made a biopic before the fact, right? You know what I mean?
Oh God, it's all those people be like, Alex Garland predicted this. And it's like, well, predicted what? Which part of this?
Civil War was right.
I forgot that people were saying he was trying.
I never
to
even
incite
saw Civil War.
Remember, I think it was Patrick Bet-David that was like, and the hero of the movie assassinates Trump, the president. That's the message of the movie. So I guess he was kind of right. Yeah,
movie was that we should assassinate Donald Trump.
Dude better be the biggest fucking Alex Garland fan. Yeah.
Hold on 1 second. You're telling me that we should, this movie that was directed by a Hollywood liberal, a mainstream Hollywood liberal, it's out here projecting to the public that we should potentially do harm to our nation's leader, the former nation's leader, a man who was, according to every single poll and most thinking people, a natural shoo-in for the presidency again. This man, months before a tragedy of epic proportions, something that we haven't seen in this country in decades. And I say this as a person who's relatively apolitical. I'm not a particularly political person. I'm just a man here trying to take care of his family. I come from another country. I moved here, and
was the shooter Jewish?
Unacceptable to me.
Was the shooter a Daily Wire listener? I'm just trying to figure that out. Okay, someone has to ask the question.
Yeah, but anyway, Griffin, what do you think the correct way for Democrats to actually respond to this? Do you think it's the smartest thing?
This is the correct way. This is like what's in their hearts, which is like civility. And actually, it's one of the only things that Biden actually has a track record of being decent at, which is like he's so boring that he's like a calming force. It's like one of the reasons why he won in 2020 was because people wanted things to be like calmer and like more civil, and like that's basically something that Biden's always been able to like embody. And so like, a lot of stuff I think has changed. I mean, I want to hear what you guys would think about this, but I think this bullet is like the absolute like worst timeline, because Trump is now super powered. Tensions are higher, and Biden's going to stay in the fucking race now. And I
100% he's
going to
be
be like,
in the race.
I think this has sucked all of the oxygen out of what was currently a death march for Joe Biden. And I don't think that people want to shake any leaves anymore. And I think people are like, all right, I guess Trump isn't Hitler. We're wishing him well, and we'll see you in 2028. That just feels like what's happening now.
Yep. And just to piggyback onto that, this is from Face the Nation. Top Democrat sources believe that the Democrats who had thoughts about challenging President Biden are now standing down, quote, because of this fragile political moment, end quote. At Costa reports, concerns about Biden's debate performance faded almost instantly after the attempted assassination of Donald Trump, with Democratic sources saying the party should stay cool at a turbulent time. We've got this clip here if we want to play it.
I've been speaking with some top Democrats. They believe that those Democrats who have the concerns about President Biden are now standing down politically, will back President Biden because of this fragile political moment. All of that talk about the debate faded almost instantly among my top Democratic sources as this unfolded. Say it's time for the country to stick together, and that means Democrats sticking together as well.
Ooh.
Yeah. So
What if Joe Biden, now he finally, this is what makes him realize, all right, I can't win this election, right? So he finally comes to terms with the fact that he should step down, even though it's under unusual circumstances. We arrive at the convention. He gracefully does so. The Democrats rise from the ashes with a brand new ticket. Can they take down Donald Trump in this super powered form, as you said, Griffin? Or is there literally zero chance that any combination of Democrats, even, in this hypothetical fantasy, which is not going to happen, is Trump just, the next president?
Yeah, I mean, listen, Trump has sort of hit a Super Saiyan level of energy at this moment. And now there's always Super Saiyan 2 and 3 and fusion form. And maybe if there's a great ticket with like a Kamala and a strong VP and they do the fusion dance, maybe there's something there. But I think like at this point, not only getting shot, but just the incredible way that he handled it and the images that are going to be, I mean, that like Chinese sweat labor shops around like in China instantly set to work on creating hundreds of thousands of t-shirts with that image on it of him coming down the stairs. Like little children all over the world in sweatshops were instantly threading that. And it's going to be an image that's in history books. And I think that just the movie magic of the moment, I don't know how almost anyone can beat that at this point. I mean, it's gotta, I mean, obviously I disavow Trump and hashtag Trump is Hitler, but it's hard not to just look at someone take a bullet like that and not feel inspired, not feel kind of like, whoa, like that's crazy,
Bro, it was over before this happened. It's almost unfathomable what would have to happen for Joe Biden to come back from this. I don't think at this point Kamala Harris or Gavin Newsom or Gretchen Whitmer getting a rousing endorsement and having Barack Obama go on a 30-state tour with them is going to be able to undo what just happened for the MAGA movement yesterday. It was a unifier. It was everything that they have been looking for, which is the fact that Donald Trump is being persecuted because he is going to be a change maker. And now he's got an entire new angle. So it was a witch hunt because of Russia. It was a witch hunt because of Stormy Daniels. His 36 indictment charges after they stole the election from him. Arizona, they did it to him. Oh, they had the classified documents, the impeachments, everything. Oh, they couldn't bring him down. Oh, they couldn't bring him down. A young kid tries to shoot him. He raises his fist and says, fight, 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 after he looks for his sneakers, right? But still, to his base, to the people who are looking for a change maker, for people who are just plain looking for a leader, guys.
Did we lose your connection? I don't know if I can hear. I don't know if it's me or what. Try it again. Come back in. It's really funny. He does it at these epic speech moments. He's doing epic finale of King's speech ass moments Patriot Audio still online? I mean, it's funny, right?
All right, we're coming back.
It's
guys.
good. It's good comedic timing. We need to tell Griffin about the
By the way,
StreamYard.
shout out to
message.
you, Primus. Thomas Crooks was
I was in a BlackRock commercial. Yeah, let's watch that.
Woolly
Yeah.
moly, deep state and stuff. Conspiracy? I think not. You want to come at me? Let's go, Vanguard. Smells like hot dog juicy juices.
LOL.
Well,
No.
shout out to you, Primus. That's quite a contribution.
No,
Yeah,
it's true.
absolutely.
I got it right here.
Okay, perfect. Send it to me in the chat.
Here it is.
Also, yeah, I think we're gonna have to stop using StreamYard because it hates this fucking audio device that we are using now.
Oh,
but we'll
damn.
figure that out in the future. Let's see here. 50 Shades of Way on X. This is the Trump shooter seen in this BlackRock commercial. So it looks like the shooter was at the school where they filmed this BlackRock commercial. It was for teachers, I believe, like 401ks.
Wow.
Ryan DeLallo. I teach AP and honors economics in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Financial well-being to me is knowing that I can be free to do the things that I love to do.
It'd be fun if he zoomed out and it's like the kid's like drawing a picture of like shooting Trump. Like
To come to school
There he
and
is.
gave as much as he could to
Where is he?
help the community.
They're gonna show him again. Oh wait, maybe not.
I think they have a timestamp.
It's,
At 4 and
And
19.
gave as much as he could. Special place
Yeah, I was gonna
to
say
come.
he's right here.
Yeah.
Oh
That's
my
the kid.
gosh.
So anyway, now you can see him fervor for the conspiracy minded amongst you. I don't think it's a conspiracy at all. The kid just happened to be in a commercial before he decided to go do some crazy shit.
Yeah, people are in commercials for all sorts of crazy things. I once auditioned to be the voiceover for a Ukraine ad, and they're like, "We are strong. We are Ukraine. We are never going to stop fighting." Like, and guess what, guys? I didn't get it. Sorry.
Bummer. Yeah, it's
And that's
Putin.
why this war is at a
They throw 'em on the
standstill. That's why. So yeah, I mean there we are. Is there any angle of this that we haven't hit yet? Political chances? Is it? I mean, it's Jover. Is that what we're saying as our final?
Yeah.
Our final
This is-
thing.
The only pushback I have to It's Jover is that, you know, this was supposed to be the most boring election cycle of our lives so far. A lot of crazy shit has happened, and the conventions have not even occurred yet. So I'm not making any predictions. All I'm saying is that I don't think anyone was predicting, other than Tucker Carlson, what happened yesterday. You know, it's not like this has at all been a normal election cycle, despite the fact that it's a rematch between two candidates that nobody wants. So there is a lot of time, you know, between now.
What in your
and
mind
November.
happens to change this? Because
I have no idea. Like I said, anything.
Biden assassin, but Biden shoots the assassin, and then Obama tries to walk him off stage, and he says, "No, Barack," and he slaps Barack in the face, Chris Rock style. I think
Will
that would.
Smith
I
did
think
the
that's what it
slap,
would take.
but
Well, he slapped Chris Rock.
that's true. But would the style be of Will Smith doing the slap, or would it be of Chris Rock getting slapped?
You got me. But you know, the other question I had for y'all was, okay, you know, the rest may be still unwritten, and maybe we don't want to get pigeonholed into any certain predictions. That's fine. But does this change Trump VP decisions? Because he still hasn't announced. He's mentioned that it's going to be potentially an apprentice style presentation and elimination of the nominees down to one at the RNC. And I guess what I'm saying is, you know, it was already looking very good, or a lot better for him against Biden. And now he's going to get a huge bump from. Does he not even have to tack at all to the center now? Now, can he go hard right? Does he choose a different VP? Who's going to be, does it change anything?
I think it might. And, you know, towards the very beginning of our 2024 coverage, like probably back in 2022, to be honest, we got started pretty early. My thinking around Donald Trump's vice president was that he wanted to avoid another Mike Pence situation. You know, if shit hits the fan again and Trump's trying to do some fascist shit, he doesn't want some milquetoast, you know, Boy Scout standing in his fucking way. So I was saying back in that era that, oh, he's going to pick a loyalist. He's going to pick someone who's very Trumpian and someone he can trust will, you know, value loyalty over democracy, frankly. But then all of this, you know, sort of criminality, all these, you know, legal charges, the walls started closing in on Trump. And then my thinking changed to, oh, he doesn't care about being a fascist anymore. He's just trying to avoid jail time. So the vice president he picks is only going to be in a self-interested way. What's going to make me the most electable, right? So I stay out of prison. I kind of think we're getting back to that original point where Trump knows he's going to win the election. He doesn't feel threatened by the Democrats or Biden anymore, specifically now that he knows Biden will probably be the nominee.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that actually does increase the chances quite a bit for a JD Vance or one of the more, you know, far right MAGA Republicans that when push comes to shove, he really can trust to be in his corner and, you know, not get all up in his feelings about honor and decency and American constitutional values and stuff.
Yeah. Kid Rock's in play now. Everyone's in play, you know?
Yeah.
Patriots
Now-
engage.
More than ever, I would be worried that we see somebody totally fucked up like Michael Flynn on the VP ticket. You know what I mean? Now, I don't think it'll actually be Michael Flynn because we already went through that whole fake scandal, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's somebody that level of deranged.
I hope it's like someone we've never heard of that's like a corrupt New York landlord that's been like in jail for like embezzlement or something like that. Just like some rando guy that's like an old friend that he's like, you know what, we haven't seen each other in a while. Get in
Did you
over
hear that,
here.
like his ex-wife, like Marla Maples, put herself in a she was like, I'm really serve on day one.
Oh, that would be awesome. Trump Maples.
Yeah.
So the last thing, and I wanted to end today's episode with a big question that I haven't seen anyone in news media ask. It's the kind of question that obviously we would get to first here on this show, and that is, of course, what that ear looked like. The Trump ear reveal is a question no one's asking.
He's
What
got that
does the-
Evander Holyfield ear now.
what does the ear look like? Will he come back with a golden ear? Like you know, will
It'll be like Legolas in Lord of the Rings, you know, it'll just grow back with a point.
Oh, it's gonna grow back. Yes, that's
Elf.
right. Maybe he puts like a big gold hoop in it or something like that, you know, draw attention. I wonder what the ear is gonna look like. I think that the first big pick that will be in history books, walking down the stairs. The second big pick is this ear reveal. The ear pick is gonna be huge.
True. I guess Trump hasn't really made a public appearance since this went down, right?
No,
Right,
there
he's
was
just
fake.
scared.
There was fake news about him playing golf today, and everyone was like, I just got shot, now he's playing golf, epic. But it was an old tape, and actually the golf course that they were taking the video on was technically closed today, and he wasn't playing on it. But I want to see this pick. I want to see what that ear looked like.
Yeah, he'll be self-conscious as fuck about it if it does look nasty too. He's that kind of guy.
Yeah, I mean, because what do you do about an ear? You know, how do you
Stitch it back on if
His
if he
hair is
lost
pretty
part of it.
big. He could probably just cover it up.
It'd be really funny if he still came out with an eye patch just to look badass, just to be like,
style.
yeah, just like yes, I'm a warrior.
Someone pointed out in chat too. I think it's a decent theory that, you know, we might see Trump campaigning less due to paranoia, because you got to keep in mind Trump is not, you know, he's not reading NPR. He's probably on Truth Social absorbing all sorts of insane conspiracy theories. And if Trump really thinks this was a CIA kind of deep state job, an attempt on his life, then if that's really what you think, then obviously it's not like they would just give up, right? It's not that hard to, you know, organize something similar at 3 rallies later. You know what I'm saying? Like if the CIA really tried to do this and fucked up, they are still the CIA. They could still kill him. So it's possible that if he believes that, I'm not saying I believe that, but if he believes that, he could, you know, just go into fucking an insane state of paranoia.
But also, no one would blame him, right? Like, no one would no one would be like Biden in the basement, you know, because he would have very good reason to. So, like, you're right. He can be literally. He was already insanely lazy, like playing golf most days, and now he doesn't have to do any work. Like it's great. It's like when you get homesick, you can play a lot of video games. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what this ear is going to look like. I'm really curious about it. I wonder if it has a Daredevil effect where it destroys his hearing, but his other senses are enhanced. You know?
Yeah. I also think anti-corporatist has a point. On the other side of that coin, he could not lay low and have this feeling of bulletproof
Invincibility.
Yeah, invincibility. So I think that's another option, and I think he's going to make a huge fucking entry to the Republican National Convention tomorrow. I think there's going to be all kinds of fanfare and pageantry. And to be honest, guys, I think that this is going to be a huge political moment for him. I think that it's going to steal all of the oxygen out of the room politically for the next week. There's no conversation about what the Democratic National Convention will look like. I think that's another conversation we can have.
But actually, does that help? Is he peaking too early? The DNC doesn't happen.
No, that's cope. That's insane cope right now.
He's gonna come out. He's just gonna be like, "Move over, Kennedys. The Trumps get shot now. Where's the Kennedys? Kennedys out."
Not only that, it'll be
no
people
one
will
wants to shoot
think
him.
about how much of an actual celebration of the candidate that the Republican National Convention will be. Meanwhile, when the Democrats have their convention, it'll be online because they don't want people protesting it in Chicago. It'll be super low key. It'll be stale. It'll feel antiquated and also inauthentic because most of it's going to be digital, whereas the RNC will feel like a fucking rally for these people. It will be an opportunity for like-minded folks to all come together, have a sense of community, to join forces, to talk about how much they need to unite against the radical left that tried to take out their president, regardless of whether or not that's reality. These people still think Donald Trump won in January. They'll tell themselves whatever the fuck they want to, right? And I think all of that will I mean, it's no comparison to what the Democrats are offering people. So, of course, guys like us, guys like people who are listening to our audience, and I mean, guys, obviously gender neutral, but it's not the same as swing voters, right? There are swing voters out there who are going to look at Joe Biden and Donald Trump and make up their mind off of those two. And if you're in a position where you're doing that, there's only one choice. You're going to look at Donald Trump and be like, yep, that guy has way more life in him than this other guy. And basically nothing else matters. Griffin, did you want to throw something up on stream?
Yeah. So I think this is what it'll look like. How sick is that?
Honestly, pretty fresh. Broke boys can't afford it. Don't talk to me.
He'll be like, he'll do a little thing where he's like, ding, 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 ding. You know,
I can't hear over the sound of your poverty. I can't hear your whines. I only hear the sound of my bank account going.
Do you think this will be like, like will the MAGA guys in the crowd start like painting their ears red, like their chieftain? I think there's a lot. I think there's a lot still to break on this story, and
wait for the op-eds on how the golden ear will affect his polling within the black community.
will it bring back the smelters, the blacksmiths? Folks, that's it. We'll cut it here for the podcast. I don't know if you guys want to keep going doing more shit. But
no, I think
we've got a couple super chats we can.
We do have super chats.
Yeah, that basically wraps it for Circle Jerk.
Yeah, podcast ends here.
Live stream continues.
Yeah, apparently the QAnon JFK Jr. guy actually is that dirtbag Dylan character.
Oh, interesting.
Yes,
interesting.
Yeah,
shout out to you.
He probably goes to every rally hoping that he'll be at the one where Trump gets almost assassinated.
I did unfortunately clock that guy as someone I'd seen before, but I thought I was just like hallucinating a ghost or something.
You thought the person you'd seen before was just Bob Dylan.
Yeah, I thought it was like, I was like, oof. All right.
Shout out to you, Mark Carey. How was the only roof in the area not secured? Yeah, we all talked about that. I think that is, to me, another textbook example of why the police are fucking stupid and we don't need them.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. It's also funny. We didn't even get to talk about this, but RFK Jr. has been bitching and moaning for the last 6 months about how he doesn't have any Secret Service protection. At this point, he's probably saying, "Thank God, because they would have let me get killed for real,
right.
for real."
Just like my father.
Yeah. But for real, yesterday was probably the worst day in RFK's entire adult life. Because we all know he's been
he wants
inviting
an assassination
attempt of his own for a while.
Well, they've confirmed they're sending him security now.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, after this, they have to. I mean, can you imagine how bad they like? I feel like already some of the Secret Service have to do like seppuku by the end of tonight. Like it is a disaster what happened.
Mm-hmm. And also, does RFK Jr. does he become a potential VP candidate because of this? Does Trump try to tie together the legacies of the Kennedys and the Trumps in a truly epic way that even some of his fans would enjoy, given the JFK Jr. Conspiracy theories?
Yeah, he's like, we finally have something in common. We both raped our nannies.
Eskimo Bros, pal. What up? Anyway, shout out to you, photographer Mike. Shout out to you, Glintifada L Aim. Yeah, 100%. Appreciate the $2. And then Kelly takes a different opinion. Folks who are sad he missed are depraved AF. I'm sad he missed, bro. Are you kidding me?
That's why everyone in chat was saying, I guess I'm depraved then. I was wondering what was going on.
Dude, I am do you know that Donald Trump is evil? Like, I would not shed a tear if he got murked. I'm sorry. It makes me a bad person. I don't care. That dude's responsible for all kinds of...
Let's bring that up for a second, because I did see like that Destiny getting a lot of heat for being spicy about this, and
I saw that.
And I guess his Destiny is, I guess, bringing it back to the point where he's like, well, if everyone is believing Trump is like Hitler, like I do, then I think this is good or something. Like, I don't know. It was kind of an autistic way to read into it, but
yeah, Destiny had some weird tweets that generally I wouldn't, pearl clutch about. He had one where it was like a picture of the bloodstained bleachers where the Trump supporter had just been murdered, essentially, and he just shares a picture of the bloodstained bleachers, and he's like, all I see is +1 for Democrats come November, because like there's one dead Republican now or whatever. And it's like, again, I'm not in the business of pearl clutching, but Destiny is someone that likes to label all of his leftist critics as being insane, violence-loving, unhinged people. And it's like, come on, bro, you're kind of just doing that now. Some innocent guy just fucking died. Like, I'm not a fan of Trump supporters, but if you're just some random dude in Pennsylvania who showed up to a Trump rally, you shouldn't take a bullet to the head.
That's so different to me. Making fun of the guy that got shot and making fun of Trump getting killed, two different things. I would happily make fun of Trump getting murked. I do think it's sad what happened to that firefighter that was there, and he died trying to protect his daughter. We had political disagreements, but he's still a human being. I don't see Trump as a human being, so I don't have that kind of like empathetic pull in my heart. Like, oh, is this right or wrong? Like, no, dude, I hope it was 2 inches to the fucking left, man. If it was, my fantasy. You know what? I don't want to see that guy be fucking president anymore. Is that an endorsement of political violence? No, that's me telling you the fucking truth.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know. Yeah, again, this one was a little bit far for me.
That's
like,
fucked up,
Christ, bro. And also,
he tweets like Israelis. Like he tweets like freaking Israelis on a war crime video. I mean, like, wow, incredible, amazing, beautiful.
I also think that this innocent Trump supporter that did die, I also think that that's going to become a massive conversation, and it's really going to help Trump, because even Republicans that don't like Trump, they're going to get guilted into voting for him now, because a bunch of MAGA people are going to say, you got to go vote for Trump in honor of this guy who, gave his life supporting the president. And even if you don't like Trump, you should go vote for him because of this fucking martyr.
Yeah, like, why couldn't they have killed the fucking Bob Dylan guy? Like, they had to kill a firefighter, like the most honorable guy.
Died saving his daughter.
Yeah,
like the Hollywood Walk of Fame, Bob Dylan's like guy that hangs out next to Spider-Man has survived a spray of bullets, but no, they all hit the firefighter. Okay. Fair world.
Epic the guy that looks like he still refers to any movie with sound as a talkie,
Yeah, so that's that.
Yeah, and that's honestly the one genuine reason, Kelly, to be sad that he missed, because it's not like that bullet just hit the fucking side of the wall. It killed some innocent man. So yeah, I would have rather the bullet, had gone to its other
original target. Redacted.
I guess my point with like people like Destiny and like this kind of language is like, if you want to go like bag for bag against the Republicans and like which side has more school shooters, it's definitely them. So like I don't think we want to like do
Right. Invite that kind of firestorm.
I just don't think that's a ground that we're going to win on, and is having like more virgins that want to shoot up movie theaters or whatever. I think that's going to be more traditionally their side. Now, there have been some crazy, like what was that? There was that one Bernie Sanders fan or whatever that like shot up the baseball field or something like that.
Police, right?
I choose to think that was actually more anti-baseball than political. But there's been a few, but I do feel like the general like 4chan semi right wing, but kind of just internet apolitical loser is more their bag. So I don't really want to get in a 1-for-1 there.
Yeah. Anyway, Circle
James.
Jerk America.
Yeah. Peace out, everyone. This was a good stream. Appreciate you guys all for tuning in. Make sure to smash that subscribe button. We usually do these Circle Jerk America live streams every Sunday. So if you want to catch the next one, make sure to subscribe to the channel and all that good stuff. We'll probably be re-releasing this episode for you guys soon. So yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. Appreciate it. Smash that like button on your way out while you're at it, and hit up the Patreon link in the description if you feel like supporting the show.
Absolutely. Peace out, everybody.
Yeah, we'll see you next week. And
Be kind to each
we'll
other.
probably be back tomorrow.
Pray for
Yeah,
the
we're going to be
country.
back tomorrow for sure. So.
Oh yeah, we'll be back tomorrow. Don't worry. We've got, I believe, an interview. Don't hold me to that. I don't know if what's going to change because of this insanity, but we'll be back regardless. At least the two of us. Peace out, everybody.
Pray for the country. Patriots
Pray for all of
disengaged.
us.